Alright guys, today we are going to change the oil filter adapter O-rings on this old turd. Already pulled the drain plug. This thing's had a bad oil leak. But the oil filter adapter, right up there, that's where all this oil leak is coming from. It's so bad. I've been adding about a quart a day because it's been leaking pretty bad for the past week. But we're going to get that adapter right there off, and I'm going to show you all the O-rings, because if you got an oil leak on the passenger side of the engine, 9 times out of 10 that's where it's going to be on these XJs, these 4.0 motors. But let me get that oil filter off up there, and I'll show you how we start getting the adapter off and change the O-rings out. Alright, now I'm going to show you all something that this is just the way I do it, because these filters down in here are hard as crap to get a filter wrench or anything like that on. So I got me a piece of 2x2, or you could probably use a piece of flat bar or anything. Take you a hammer and punch a divot down in it like that. Then once you get a divot in it, you can just smack the end of the tube with a hammer or a flat bar or rod or whatever you got. Smack it with the end of the hammer a couple times, give it a good tap, and break her on loose. Then you can just reach down in there and be able to unscrew it. Because these things, you about can't get to the oil filters on these Jeeps. You get up in the bottom, you can't get to them from anywhere up in there either. But that's how I get the oil filters off, just in case anybody else is having a problem. Alright, now that the oil filter's out, that's your oil filter adapter. Most Jeeps, a lot of them take a Torx bit to get them out. This one is a little different than most for some reason. I don't know. It seems like this Jeep has some kind of retarded effect compared to all the Jeeps for some reason. That's why it's been carb swapped, because it never would run right. But this one actually has a 16 millimeter bolt, and it actually wasn't hard at all to get loose. But I got it loose, got it draining. I'm actually going to, I got the seal kit to actually rebuild the adapter and put new seals in it so it'll stop leaking. But I'm about positive that once you get this thing off and the way it threads on, that you could actually probably put a regular oil filter on it, and just delete the adapter. But it's so close that you would have to get a small, short oil filter that's not your common size. When I get this off and get it pulled off of there, I'm going to measure the clearance I got, and I'm actually going to run down to the parts house and see if they make any that are short. And if they make a short oil filter that has plenty of clearance between there and the subframe, I'm actually just going to delete this thing altogether. If not, then I'll rebuild it and put the new seals back in it and put it back on the way it's supposed to be. But if I can get a short oil filter for it, then I'll let you know and put a video, upload it in here, and I'll put the part number down for it. So I'll be back. Now I actually did find a filter that's real small, I think about 3 inches long, and it's real narrow, that'll clear that engine mount, that I think will work perfect. But I'm having a problem getting this roll pin right here out. And I need to get this Jeep out of the shop tonight. So maybe next oil change I can take the adapter back off and see what I can do about getting that roll pin out and just mount the filter straight to the side of the block. Now here is the filter I had found. That's the part number. It fits the threads perfectly. Now, if you was actually take that adapter off and mount it straight to the block like I'm talking about, you'd need to pull this piece right here off. this end would actually screw straight into the block, and then the filter would just screw on this end, and you could just mount that filter straight to the side of the block and get rid of this whole adapter here. But since I'm not gonna get that roll pin out this time, I'm just gonna go back with the factory filter it's supposed to have again for now. That takes a 7-inch socket, by the way. Take that off. Now, rebuilding this adapter, putting new seals in it, you're going to have an O-ring here. I'll take a pick and try to get that picked out of there. Man, that thing's harder than a Dick's hat band. Hold on a second, it's going to take me 2 hands. Now you'll have an O-ring right here, which I've done pulled out. That thing was hard to get out. Actually, I had to take a razor and put a slice in it and then get it out with the pick. Then you'll have another O-ring here, which is the piece that bolts into the side of the block, into the oil filter hole for the block itself. There's your seals right there. So let's get that new O-ring on there and get the seals changed and get her back on the Jeep. Alright, now we got it cleaned up a bit. Got new O-rings on this side, new O-rings on that side. Got new O-rings on this piece. Now when you got to slide this back in, put a little oil around that O-ring so she'll go back down in there. Be ready to put her back on the Jeep. Pretty simple. Alright, fellers. The oil filter adapter's back in. It's easy. Likewise, well, I can't get my phone up in there. But a lot of Jeeps have a Torx bit there. I don't know why. That mine don't have it, but just put the bolt back in and make sure that roll pin that I was talking about was in the way of me just being able to put a regular filter on the side of the block. Just make sure that roll pin's lined up. It's got a little hole in that adapter so your oil filter stays pointing straight up. And screw her back in. And that's how you fix your oil filter adapter seals and get rid of a bad oil leak. Now I need to go buy a quarter squirt somewhere and purple power this thing up and spray everything off and get some of this nasty oil poopy looking goop crap off here. Thank y'all for watching if you're still here, and share it out with me and like my video if you don't mind. I'll be bringing y'all more to come. Thank you.